Yo, what's going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it. More importantly, asking for yours, ladies and gentlemen. Things are moving rather quickly. Picking up speed, traction. The lighting's too bright on my face, so I look like a devilish ghoul. Should I turn it down? I might turn it down. Can you just chill there? Stop what you're doing. Sit. I'm going to turn it down. Okay. Oh, that's better. Thank you for waiting with me and persisting. How are you doing, mate? You doing well? I really do hope that. I really do, man. And we're talking today about hudson-odoi to Bayer Leverkusen. Good move if you ask me, dude. I think so. What Frankie Lampard said about Anthony Gordon. Thank you, Gordon. Brendon Rogers and Wesley Fofana. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. There's so much to dissect, to get into. Please do drop a like to show your support. It's just a click of a button, mate. Why wouldn't you do that? You know, you probably watch me say it and often you don't click it. Now's your time. You there watching who don't click like. Now's the time to click like. If you are yet to subscribe, you're of course welcome to. Everyone's welcome here on Football Therapy to subscribe. And should you choose to do so, you've got to hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Right, let's jump into Anthony Gordon. Figuratively. Or... no. Anyway, yeah, so this is what Frank Lampard has to say about Anthony Gordon, of course, the Everton manager, Chelsea legend. I'm going to be citing an article from The Express. Anthony Gordon to Chelsea update, as Frank Lampard explains ideal wish for transfer saga. Everton boss Lampard hopes that Anthony Gordon transfer can be wrapped up quickly, having changed his tune from insisting the youngster is not for sale. Chelsea are reportedly weighing up one final crack at the winger for a mammoth 60 million bid. Sorry, that's my natural reaction, where we're in a time and age where Chelsea are just going to pay £60 million for Anthony Gordon. I don't know what's happening. No disrespect to the guy. He might be awesome. He might be perfect. He might be the ideal solution. I just don't know what's real anymore. And what's happening. Is money even real? Does it exist? Does Todd Bowley and Clearlake know something that I don't? Like, what's happening? Gordon was virtually ever present for the Toffees last term, as they left it late to seal their Premier League safety. His haul of 4 goals and 2 assists didn't set the division alight. But his overall performances did, that's true. And Lampard has called him to start on him on the first 3 games of the season. Look, he's a good player, man. There's no denying that. He's high octane, he's explosive, he runs at the goal, everything's fine. Chelsea have been, they've made a bid in the region of £45 million, which was knocked away by Everton, who have picked up their first points of the campaign against Nottingham Forest. First point, I think it is. Sky Sports claim that they are plotting to have one more go with a £60 million approach, sure to push Lampard's resolve to the limit. Pushing Lampard to the limit, baby. The Everton manager now claims he wants a speedy resolution to the saga, as a replacement would be sorely needed before the transfer deadline on September the 1st, which is, of course, in 6 days. Yeah. Let's see what Lampard said. Quote, "Everyone knows there's interest from Chelsea. It's very public now. But he's our player. It's as simple as that. He was on the bench because he had a bit of an issue with his heel after the game against Forest. We kept him out of it completely unless it was absolutely needed tonight. I didn't feel he was. Yeah, ideally we want a speedy resolution, or carry on with him as our player. That's what it is." So there you go. Lampard's language is transitioned from no, a bit like Brendon Rogers, absolutely not for sale, to, well, we'll see what happens. Kind of the same here with Frank Lampard. Absolutely not for sale. Actually, let's have a speedy resolution one way or another. Look, man. I just don't know anymore. I just don't know. What is football? What are players? What is Thomas Tuchel? How do we win? How do we score goals? Where are we going? How do we get here? You know, where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Cotton Eye Joe and all that. he could be the answer if he's a particular profile. And then I'm just again, like I said previously, I defer to the superior knowledge of the footballing plan at Chelsea at the moment, because I don't know what the F is going on at the moment. What I do know is many attackers are leaving. Romelu Lukaku, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech to Ajax, and what's up next? Callum Hudson-Odoi to Bayer Leverkusen. That's 4 attackers out. 1 in, and Raheem Sterling. Potentially 2 if you consider Armando Broja up there. But maybe Broja will be used to coax Anthony Gordon over. We need more attackers, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know what's going on with Pulisic, apart from loads of arguments on social media between US national team fans and Chelsea fans, because he's posting pictures of him laughing with Leeds players after we got battered 3-0 by them. Make of that what you will. Alright then, let's move on and talk about what seemingly could potentially be a good loan story, but I've been burned before. I said, ooh, RB Leipzig for Ethan Ampadu. That's going to be a excellent loan. I thought Sheffield United would be a good loan for him. I just don't know anymore. What is a good loan destination? I'm not qualified to tell you, but Nizar Kinsella is exclusively originally reporting on the Evening Standard this story. Bayer Leverkusen looked set to win the race for Chelsea winger Callum Hudson-Odoi on loan for the season. The deal is not yet complete, but there is confidence from all parties that it would get done. A host of clubs were interested, including Premier League with Newcastle, Southampton, and Bayer's Bundesliga rivals Borussia Dortmund. Interesting how Leverkusen beat Dortmund. But after careful consideration, Hudson-Odoi has chosen to spend the season in Leverkusen. This is interesting. Hudson-Odoi was keen on more regular football this season, and Chelsea have sanctioned his loan exit after ruling out a permanent move. The new Blues co-owner Todd Boehly personally pleaded with Hudson-Odoi to only consider a temporary move. Smart, because he's 21 and he's very talented, and there seems to be joined up thinking in the new Chelsea ownership that you want to build a super team 22 and under or 21 and under with all these new young players with, Cesare and Chukwuemeka and Slanina and Hutchison and maybe Gordon, he's young as well, and Hudson-Odoi. It's the next generation. They're trying to be smart, thinking smart. The 21-year-old still has 3 years left on his contract, of course, because he signed on Lampard. He renewed, worth reportedly more than 100k a week. Yeah, people speculate it's 120. Hudson-Odoi managed just 15 Premier League games last season and is yet to play a minute during this campaign, probably largely down to trying to sort out a move. You don't want to risk injury, I would speculate. The move to the Bundesliga comes 2 years after Bayern Munich failed with multiple approaches to sign the youngster when Frank Lampard managed us. Of course, they've tried to loan him with an option to buy for £70 million. The Germans love Hudson-Odoi. They see him as a Jadon Sancho type player. Now, I'm interested. There's obviously reasons for it, but I am interested how he's chosen Leverkusen over Dortmund, because I know Dortmund have been bottling it recently and not looking great, but Leverkusen I think are really, really down there. I mean, let's just look at the Bundesliga table quickly. I believe they are not doing well at all. Yeah, they're second to bottom with no points. So they're not good after 3 games, and they've got a -5 goal difference. It's not looking good, so you can understand why they're probably trying something relatively radical to spice up their chances of staying in the Bundesliga this season. You can also imagine that Callum Hudson-Odoi has almost certainly consulted his attacking compatriot Kai Havertz and been like, mate, what's Bayer Leverkusen like? Tell me about it. Should I go? To which he's probably gone, yeah, it's wicked, mate. They'll look after you. Go check it out. A good story. Let's move on. Obviously, comment your thoughts down below. All right, baby. Now, The Sun this morning is reporting Chelsea have pulled the plug on their bid to sign Wesley Fofana, and that's from The Sun Sport. Only The Sun Sport is reporting on this morning, so we'll have to keep a close eye. We haven't heard any more reputable journalist publications headlines saying that they've pulled the plug. The Sun is saying it though, but Chelsea reportedly, from other sources, are saying that Chelsea are still going in for it. Rogers did say on, I believe, TalkSport regarding Wesley Fofana, and Chelsea. He was left out last night in their cup game, and Rogers said this: Wesley Fofana, the player, he clearly wants to go, and it's about the clubs finding an agreement, and I think once that happens, it will be resolved then. That is the Leicester manager, Brendon Rogers, saying Fofana wants to go, the clubs find an agreement, it will happen then. To me, that is clean, concise, and conclusive that he's saying, look, he wants to go, he's about to go, they just need to figure it out. That's what that sounds like to me. What does it sound like to you? And then you've got the Sun reporting that we've pulled out. Granted, Chelsea don't want to break the transfer record for him. I don't think they were ever needed to, though. I think there was a deal to be done, and largely it was speculated or was reported that it's to do with the structure of the deal to be more favourable to Leicester, to get more of the juice up front, so they could probably replace him with a decent, strong replacement. Chelsea need Fofana, I think, man. Yes, we've got Chalobah. Yes, we've got Cesar Azpilicueta, but the gaffer doesn't really seem to trust him. And one thing's for sure, like I said a couple of videos ago, one thing that we all want is Reece James to just play at right wing back. Unless he's coming up against Vinicius Jr. in the Bernabeu, moving back to right centre back. But for 96% of the time, play him at right wing back, therefore get a starting right centre back of Wesley Fofana. You with me? Do you feel me? Do you agree? Let me know down in the comment section below. We will, of course, follow that story very, 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 very closely and keep it locked here to be the first to hear my reactions. I want to talk about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to end, because Gerard Romero of that Barcelona fan reporting headline tabloid-esque Twitch channel where he reacts to all the stories. Look, I think, to be honest, I don't want to disrespect the guy, actually, so he's actually called a lot of stories first. It just seems a little bit meme-esque, so, but, more power to him and all that. Aubameyang to Chelsea will be done this week, so Kounde can play in the next match. Pretty concise. He's saying, of course, they haven't registered Jules Kounde yet because they don't have the P's to do so. And, they need to because the La Liga started and everyone else is friggin' registered. So they want to register him. They understand to do that they have to sell Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who, of course, is open to a move to Chelsea, a return to working with Thomas Tuchel, his former coach from Borussia Dortmund, where he had an excellent goal-scoring record. And, Premier League's highest level. He'll also recognise that Barcelona have just signed Robert Lewandowski, who's going to start over him, make no bones about it. That's just what will happen. And he'll probably be like, all right, I'll go start for Chelsea. They're not scoring goals. They will absolutely turn to me to start. I'll be up front. Raheem Sterling will be to my left, and probably Mason Mount will be on my right, or we will play, I think, maybe a 3-4-1-2. Mason Mount in behind, more in the midfield. Those two, Sterling in the left channel, Aubameyang in the right, possibly, speculating here. I mean, we've got to make some sort of changes, or who knows, maybe even a formation change. There's so much popping off in the transfer window, man. I mean, we might, despite Thomas Tuchel saying we don't need a midfielder, we've got Kovacic, Kante, when he reeled them off in that presser, there is still, people from The Athletic reporting on The Athletic podcast that he is actually interested in a midfielder. He is very, very, very interested in Frankie de Jong, but I just don't think that deal will happen. It would be very unlikely. There's probably a 75% chance Frankie de Jong stays at Barca, but should he leave, to me, there's only one place he goes, and that's Chelsea. So we'll see what happens there, but Chelsea would be sitting on too many midfielders. It's all a bit scattergun. We have an opportunity to bring in new players and be in this season with a lot of quality. Emerson Palmieri has been announced to West Ham. We got £15 million all in for him. Pretty decent. Good luck to him. He was a good player at times for us. Get a couple more out, a couple more in, including high-profile signings, and I think we'll be okay. So, let me know what you think. Comment down below. I'm very interested in getting all the thoughts, feelings, and opinions from my viewership, you guys. Thank you for dropping a like and subscribing, and keep it locked, man, because I can't wait to react to these stories of you guys and see what you're saying in the comments. I'll see you very soon. Peace.